Okay, so you're thinking about trying the ketogenic diet, or you're doing the ketogenic diet and you want to know if you can have alcohol. Can I have alcohol on the ketogenic diet? There's good news and there's bad news. The answer is yes, you can have it. First of all, we all know alcohol isn't that good for you. That's an obvious thing. There are some benefits in red wine that we have found in the past, but in general, alcohol isn't good for you. When it's processed, one of the bad news parts of the good news, bad news is it raises your insulin levels, first of all. And when broken down in the liver, it creates toxins. So that's the first bad part why really you shouldn't have alcohol in a perfect world. But we all know life goes on. We want to have some drinks with friends. We want to go out. We have a good time on vacation. So can we have alcohol when we're doing keto? That's the question. You can, and there's good news and bad news. So one of the good news is that you can have alcohol, but have it when you're fat adapted. And let's start with ketogenic diet and keto. First of all, the keto diet is when you eat 70% fats, 20% protein, and 5% carbohydrates. Good carbs, like cruciferous vegetables, for instance. And when your body is going from burning glucose, that's sugars and carbohydrates, to burning ketones, like beta-hydroxybutyrate. So when your body switches over to that fuel source of burning ketones, whether when you start the ketogenic diet, some people it takes a week or two, some people it takes a couple, maybe 3-4 months, some people it takes a year to have your body fully adapt to burning fat. Meaning that if you are a year into burning ketones as a fuel source, and you're doing ketogenic and you're in a nutritional ketogenic state, and all of a sudden you slip up and you're somewhere where you can only have a meal of carbohydrates, and you eat that, a day later you'll be back in ketosis as soon as you start again. That's fat adapted. Your body prefers to be burning fats as fuel. It's the better fuel source. It's better than sugar. First of all, people say, well, we got to have glucose because the brain runs on glucose and the heart and some of your organs run on glucose. You got to understand that when you're in keto, the protein that we eat can be broken down into glucose. You don't need carbs for that. Carbs have no nutrition. You don't need carbs. So let's get back to the alcohol. The bad news, like I said, your body kicks you out of ketosis. This is probably the biggest one. Your body kicks you out of ketosis temporarily when you have it, when you consume it. So say you have one of the drinks that you can have, say you have a vodka and soda water, and you're out with some friends and you have a couple of them, okay, and you're doing keto and you're doing good and you're eating the right things. Your body and your liver prefer alcohol over ketones. So they're going to stop your ketosis. It's going to set it aside. It's going to burn the alcohol completely, and it's going to metabolize it. That can take anywhere from 10 to 20 hours to do. So you're out of ketosis when you're doing that. Your body's running on the alcohol. Okay, so that's one bad news. Another bad news, sorry, no beer. Beer is huge on the glycemic index. It's about 110. The glycemic index is a index which measures how well your blood sugar is affected by the food or drink that you have. In other words, some broccoli is like a 2 or a 3 on the glycemic index, whereas a beer or a donut is like 100, 110 on the glycemic index. Okay, so does it raise your insulin level and does it bring up your blood sugar? And you don't want high glycemic index foods. I'll be doing a video just on the glycemic index at one point. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you know when my videos come up. And again, we talked about beer raising your insulin levels, and when broken down in the liver creates toxins. So that's all the bad news. The good news is you can have alcohol. Wait till you're fat adapted. Wait till you're doing keto. Give yourself some time, give yourself some body to get used to running on fats for fuel. Then, here's also the good news. You can have vodka, gin, tequila, whiskey, scotch, a little bit of white wine once in a while. If you have to have a red wine, just have it very sparingly. It still raises your insulin levels. It still has a lot of sugar in it. But a little bit of white wine is a little bit better than red wine. Rum, any triple, quadruple distilled alcohol you can have. But here's the thing. Not a lot of us will just drink that out of a bottle. We have to have that with something to mix it with. You want to have a cocktail. So tell your bartender, you want some vodka or tequila with some seltzer water, a couple limes, a lemon, you got yourself a good drink for the night. And here's one of the really cool things, is the lack of stored glycogen in the liver meaning glycogen that's in the liver is put in there by carbohydrates and sugars that you eat. Because we're not eating carbohydrates, the glycogen in the liver is emptied. Because of the lack of that, the liver is making the ketones, it's in ketosis. So it's much easier for you to have one or two drinks and to feel the same as if you had, your normal American diet and you're eating, 400, 500, 600 grams of carbohydrates a day, and you're having pizza and you're having this and you're that. And then you go and you have a beer or you have a vodka and tonic, and you're drinking and you're drinking and you're drinking. A lot of times you don't really feel it till you're 7, 8, 9 in for some of us guys, some of us women. So that's the nice thing, is you spend a lot less on drinks. So to wrap it up, you can have alcohol on the ketogenic diet. Wait till you're fat adapted. Give it some time. Get used to burning fat as fuel. Get used to yourself being in the ketogenic state. So here we go, guys. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.